Namaste, this is Tatpara Ahoratra. As an astrologer who's rooted in the Indian tradition, people often ask me as to why women are not allowed to enter the temple or the kitchen during their menstrual cycle or periods. Growing up in an Indian family of six females, including myself, we often saw such beliefs around us. But lucky enough to have been brought up by my father, who made sure that we did not follow such rituals. As a father of five girls, he knew that one day he would have to explain to us about not following or encouraging such rituals to others. According to astrology, every being on this planet is affected by the different planetary positions. The moon, to be precise, affects every being once in every 28 days. For example, period cycle for humans and mammals, skin shedding for snakes, and etc. With the help of my father's words and explanations, I am going to do the same to aim to eradicate such false beliefs. In the ancient times of India, a matriarchal society was practiced. Women were given more power and respected more in the society. After the wedding ceremony, grooms were expected and shifted into the bride's house. Later, with time, the society turned into a patriarchal society. Men were regarded as high and were given more respect. To see that dominance reflect, women were made to work a lot. Women were expected to do a lot of chores, including cleaning, washing, cooking, and also serving the whole extended family and also following religious rituals that were very long and hectic. They had to do it all. It almost became a curse to be born as a female. Our ancient Vedic saints who were experts in Ayurveda knew that women needed rest during their menstrual cycle. They were very well aware of the fact that when a woman was on her periods, her uterus is very sensitive and fragile. When a woman does extra efforts or work or puts in a lot of energy into a particular errand, the uterus is indirectly affected by it and can be extremely dangerous and harmful for a woman's body. If ignored for a longer period, it can cause internal bleeding and can damage the organs. To avoid such consequences, and to find solutions for the same, our smart Vedic saints came up with the concept to not allow women into the kitchen or the temple or even outside of their house during the span of their cycle. They were expected not to do any household chores, and this was to avoid them from any physical exertion and to provide them with complete bed rest. But since centuries, we humans have always been found guilty of manipulating things. Suddenly, periods were disregarded and stated as impure. According to the chapter 9, text 29 of Bhagavad Gita, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dvesho sina priyaha, meaning God regards every creature and being as equal. He is equally impartial towards all. According to our detailed study, nowhere in the Vedas or Upanishads did we come across any scripture that mentioned the prohibition of women on her periods to enter any religious or spiritual place. Temples are like schools created for us to understand that God is omnipresent. He is present everywhere. In fact, God Himself isn't aware of the place that He isn't present. He is present in you, in me, and even in a female during her menstrual cycle. Periods are incredibly natural and non contagious. I'm using the word contagious because it's seen upon as a disease or a dosha. In a generation like ours, where men and women are treated and considered as equals, both stand an equal chance to conquer the world or fly high. Again, when a woman is on her periods, it's a very personal thing to her. What she goes through cannot be generic or objective. It's an internal feeling that is not the same for all the women. We're all designed differently. And so, the choice is entirely hers if she wants to work or not work during her cycle, if she wants to say it out loud or hide it, and it is her choice and you have to respect it. With evolution and its charge, we have all become very hygienic. Women have access to sun-free napkins and she can travel, run, and do whatever she wants to, considering her body supporting for the same. Coming to the point where people think it's a sin for a woman on her cycle to enter the temple. According to Vedas, periods are considered as a pure sign. When Draupadi was brought to the court by Dushasana, she was on her periods. When Lord Krishna protected her by handing over the cloth to her. She was on her periods. When Lord Krishna embraced her, intending to console her, she was on her periods. Lord Krishna also conducted the delivery of Uttara, who gave birth to Parikshit Maharaj. Now, when we overlook all these points, there is no reason as to why we treat women on her cycle as untouchable. India has massive temples created for goddesses. Devotees are seen serving food, clothes, and treating them with human love and emotions as if she were alive. So, why not shut the temple every few days a month? Because she's the goddess in a female form, so she must have menstrual cycle every month. But we don't do that. Not just that, we find creatures in the temples like mice, bats, snakes, cockroaches, and mammals that deliver and experience periods. But does that make the god impure in any way? No. According to Vedic sciences, periods are considered the purest. In South India, it is a grand ceremony when a girl hits her puberty. She's made to dress up elegantly and treated no lesser than a goddess. Now, why is the commencement of the period celebrated to this extent on its arrival? Think. Anyway, what has happened with our mothers and their mothers cannot be changed. But as children and people of this generation, I request you all to make a difference. Do not follow or encourage such rituals. Let us make a difference. I've said it enough now, and it is up to you to believe it or not. Dhanyavad.